And thank you. As Beth and Rachel mentioned, my name is Janice Hardman. I'm a Human Resource Coordinator with Windsor House. Are any of you familiar with Windsor House? Have you heard of us? We're a locally owned company. We're own nursing homes and assisted living facilities. So the company's been around since 1959, and it's still owned and operated by the original owners and founder of Windsor House. By their son is the son of the original owners is the president and CEO currently. So everything is local. They're from Girard originally. We do all of our internal stuff local. So that's the one thing that kind of attracted me to that company. But have any of you ever worked in healthcare before?
I've never actually worked it, but I helped my mom because she was working for some sort of place that helped elderly people.
Okay.
And so I helped her company didn't know it, but I helped her with a lady, and she was already bedridden.
Okay.
And I had to help her use that machine to help her get on the toilet, and
okay.
I had to take care of her, and I have experience with taking care of my grandmother before she passed.
Okay.
So yeah, I did all the wiping butts and
It's a lot of stuff you don't typically do every day. It's hard work. What about, have either of you two ever worked in healthcare?
No.
Okay. What do you think? What do you think it takes to work in healthcare? In any part. We own nursing homes, so we have people who are similar to, like you said, they're bedridden, they can't help themselves at all. We have some people who are able to help themselves, and then we have assisted livings where people are more able to help themselves. They can get dressed, maybe they can shower themselves, but they need more assistance with general care, or so we have all different levels of people. We have people with dementia who are not cognitive, who can't really understand maybe what you're doing. So we have all different types of people who live in our nursing homes, and in hospitals they call them patients. So whether you're working in a hospital as a patient, in long-term care and in nursing homes we call them residents, because they're actually living at that location, so they're a resident, it's their home. So what do you think, what types of, I guess, values or traits do you think you need to take care of people? If you want someone taking care of you, if you've ever been in a hospital or you've had someone taking care of you, what do you think you need to do to be able to take care of someone?
You're gonna have to do it.
Sure.
You're gonna have to have some passion.
Sure.
patience and the ability to actually care about what you're doing with these people.
Sure. Anything else?
Kind heart.
The kind heart, very, very good. Those are all excellent things, because you're taking care of people when you're in healthcare, whether you're in a hospital or whether you're in a nursing home, or whether you're going into their homes to take care of them. And it doesn't matter what your role is. We're going to talk a little bit about being an STNA here, but if your role is in an activity department, or if you're a dietitian and doing it in a dietary, your role is still to make sure that that patient or that resident is cared for 100% of the time, and with compassion and caring, because they need that assistance. That's why they're there. They can't do it themselves. So you do need all of those traits to be able to take care of people. But just so they wanted us to talk a little bit about just different career opportunities that you may have if you go into healthcare. And some people, when they think of healthcare, they think nursing, and they're like, oh my gosh, 4 years of college after I do this, that's a long time. There are ways to get into healthcare at a different level than nursing, especially, or if nursing's your goal, it's a good way to start working in healthcare as you're going towards that goal. But there's also different aspects of healthcare that people don't look at. There's administrative parts. If you're good at the administrative role of healthcare, there's a medical records, avenues or tracks that you can take. There's, like in nursing homes, we have activities. We have people who work in our activities department who plan the activities, social work and social services. We have social workers in all of our nursing homes who are advocates for those patients. And for those residents. So there's all different aspects of working in healthcare that you can do. if you're interested in getting into that line of work. And healthcare is one of those fields that doesn't go away. I mean, everybody's gonna always need healthcare. In some format, whether it's in a doctor's office or it's in a hospital or it's in a nursing home or an assisted living, people are going to need some sort of health care. So, if that's a field that interests you, it's a good field to kind of narrow down and see what you like to do. But working for Windsor House, I have some information for you. And the main thing I talk about for people who, aren't maybe a nurse or a social worker or a dietitian yet, we have a state-tested nurse aid training program. And state-tested nurse aides are the ones that do all of the direct care, primarily of the residents that are in our nursing home. It's like you were talking about. You have residents that need assistance getting dressed, going to the toilet, showering, getting into their wheelchair or being able to walk, have assistance walking to the dining room for meals. And that's what the STNA does every day, is they go in and they provide that care to those residents of the nursing home. It is not an easy job. It's not a pretty job, like she said. You are in there taking care of them, helping them go to the bathroom, changing their clothes. Maybe they've had an accident in their bed, so you're working to change their sheets and get all that cleaned up, along with the housekeeping department. So it's not always glamorous. You don't always get thanks from those residents that you're taking care of. Some of them, again, like I mentioned, there's dementia residents, or some people have, other types of diseases or things that they're just not cognitive and able to say thank you to you. Some people, it's not their nature to say thank you. People are people. We're all different. But I know in Windsor House, we are very appreciative of our staff. So that's how you get the appreciation too. If you're not getting it from the residents, we certainly try to make sure we as a company, show appreciation that way. But the STNA training is a 80-hour training program. It's set up by state guidelines. The state of Ohio Department of Nurse Aid Training, the Ohio Department of Health, is who regulates all of everything we do in the nursing homes, as well as our nurse aid training. So it's a required training of 80 hours. Windsor House does it right now over a period of 2 weeks, because most of the staff, or most of the people that we're training, are either staff of ours or people who are going to become, we're hoping to become staff members of Windsor House. We run trainings monthly, so we have to get them done, timely. So we do it over a period of 2 weeks. So it's kind of a pretty intense course. It's 80 hours. Right now we do day shift classes. So you're coming, if you're in a class, you're coming day shift hours for 2 weeks straight, Monday through Friday. But after that, you're fully certified and able to work as a state tested nurse aide. On your certificate, until you actually there's a test you have to take. We'll talk about that a little bit though. We are looking next year, we're hiring another trainer, so we are next year looking to hope to have some evening classes quarterly. They may take a little bit longer than the 2 weeks that we do, because we have to do shorter hours. But and the 80 hours includes all of your classroom work, your quizzes, your final exam to get your certificate, and then there's some clinical hours that you'll have to do. So you actually go then into one of our nursing homes, and it's usually 2 days or 2.5 days that you're doing that to use your skills that you've learned on actual residents versus the dummy that's in the, the dummy that's in the classroom that you're practicing on. And of course, all of that is supervised by our trainers. So it's an 80-hour training course. Again, once you're done with the class and you've passed it, you're certified. What that does is that allows you to work at the capacity of a state tested nurse aide until you take your state test. So you're certified, you have 4 months then to take your state test and pass it. And we at Windsor House, we help you with that. We are a testing location, our location in Youngstown. It's right up here actually on Churchill Hubbard Road in Liberty, right by the Township Administration Building is where we do our training monthly. So it's not far from here. That is also a testing location for taking your state test. We have reviews when you're finished with class, you're coming up to take your test. We have days set up where you can come in to review. I'm not bragging, but I am going to brag a little bit. Our trainers are awesome. Our STNA trainer, who leads our program, she's been with the company for over 20 years. She had one job out of college for like 9 months before she came to Windsor House as a nurse. Worked as an RN for us for years, and then probably about 8 years ago became the head of our training program. So she's very passionate and dedicated about making sure, both of our trainers are making sure the students get through that class. We will accommodate IEP programs if you have an IEP. We have students that when we give them the final exam, which is a multiple choice test, if they need to have it read to them, they'll sit there with the test in front of them and we have someone reading those questions and options to you if you need that assistance. That's something we accommodate as well for anyone. So we do make sure, our goal is to make sure you are ready to do your job and that you can do a good job for Windsor House or for anyone else. So I love the training program. There are several ways to get into the training program. There is, if you just want to sign up and have no commitment to Windsor House, you sign up as an STNA, you can just enroll in the program. There is a fee to take the class. It is $500, but we require half of it down to enroll, and then the balance is due before you finish the class. You're not allowed to take your final until you pay. There are places that provide assistance for that. I know people have used Job and Family Services before. There's other programs that may assist in getting that fee paid. We also offer a program where we provide the training for free. What you do is you apply for a position